It's been said, and I think it's also been known, that one disadvantage of using Neovim is the fact that by managing the plugins yourself, whenever there is a more significant update, especially to multiple plugins, then you might end up in a situation like my current one, where sudden errors come from nowhere, and it essentially breaks your entire workflow. I know that I've solved this problem before a few times, and in this video I would like to also show you my process, because I've realized the process isn't that difficult to solve this problem, and so I thought it would be worth sharing. So you can see here that in your let's say config repo, or the Neovim, or the Neovim part of your config repo, there will be a lazy lock JSON, assuming that you're using the lazy plugin manager. And as you can see here, I've done some updates, and the way you can mistakenly or by mistake do some updates is by opening lazy and then pressing capital U, like I did, and as you can see, it also did some updates right now, which isn't something that I always want. In my situation it isn't, but if that didn't happen now, I wouldn't be making this video, so I guess that's a good thing. Okay, so this is how mistakes can happen by accidentally pressing a letter. But now I would like to show you how I'm going to fix this. So we spoke about this lazy lock JSON file, which will be updated after you update your plugins via lazy. Now the first thing that I want to do is to revert this file. In my case, I'm using lazy git, but in git parlance this would mean to I don't know the word in git parlance, but you essentially want to undo these entire changes. And the way I'm doing this in lazy git, it would be with the capital X. If I weren't using lazy git, I would probably do something like git checkout and the current workday. Okay, now the second part, which I've already spoiled just before, is that the next step is to clear the cache. I've noticed that Neovim has multiple places to store the cache, to store some data, and these are the three that I'm aware of. So the next step is to essentially delete everything that's inside of them, and this is what this command will do, this chain command. Now that it is done, so the first step is to revert the log file to a version where you know that everything worked fine. Then you have to delete the cache, or to invalidate the cache. And the next step is to once again open Neovim, and what should happen at this point is Neovim will start to, or to be more precise, lazy will start to pick up the changes, and it will essentially download or install your plugins as per the lazy log file. Now I'm opening Neovim, and as you can see, lazy already started to do its job. After it is done, everything should be working fine, since we are assuming that the version we have reverted to is a functional one. And as you can see, no problems have been encountered at this point. There is also another extra step that you have to do, which is to reinstall the programs that concern Mason, and those are the programs that concern formatting, linting, debugging, language servers, and so on. Unless this has somehow been already done automatically, but I doubt so. Although, as you can see here, ESLint D has been installed, which seems that things are working. So, if I'm not wrong, everything should be well now. And this is basically the process that you can use to revert to a working Neovim environment in case you went on an adventure to upload or to update your plugins. As a lesson for me, it would be to first of all be more careful with what I'm typing, and the next one is to gradually update plugins and to ensure that no breaking changes are done. Okay, now it seems that everything is installed. I would like to simply check for that. I will go to a repo of mine. Let's say documents, learning Rust. And now if I open this and I open the main file, not this main file, but this file, now I would expect the language server to work, and it works. Now if I go to the definition of vec, it should work. It should work, and it works. So I guess this was it for this video. As I said, coming to a functional Neovim setup isn't that difficult once you have in mind the fact that you have to revert to the log file, which is essentially a checkpoint for your Neovim setup. Then you have to clear the cache and then basically simply reinstall by quitting Neovim and opening it once again. This was it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.